Well, let's speak now to the Policing Minister, Chris Philp, who joins us live from Westminster. Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us, indeed standing outside. I know it's very chilly out there this morning. We want to talk to you about Rwanda this morning. Done deal. When's the first flight going to take off?
Well, we hope it'll take off as soon as possible. I certainly hope by spring. The Home Secretary did a great job yesterday, flying out to Kigali, getting that treaty signed, addressing the issues that were raised by the Supreme Court. We've now got a treaty that is binding in international law. It guarantees that no one the UK sends over to Rwanda can be sent off anywhere else afterwards, which is one of the issues the Supreme Court in their judgment raised. So this should deal with all the issues which the judgment brought to the fore and should pave the way to flights getting off, as you say.
Hope, and you say the word should, which points to the fact that there are lots of possible stumbling blocks between now and any possible flight taking off, not least another legal challenge, which could not only delay things right up to the next election, but could also expose these huge divisions, which we're hearing about in the papers this morning within the Conservative Party. 11 ministers on resignation watch to the left of the party, and then this coalescence of the right, the ESG, the New Conservatives and the Common Sense Conservatives, all in another trench. And the question remains, is this actually addressing the concerns of the British people on immigration, or is this just the Tories fighting each other?
No, this is addressing the concerns of the British people on immigration, the very legitimate concerns. It's not acceptable that last year we had almost 50,000 people illegally entering the country, illegally and unnecessarily, because France is a safe country. Now, it's down by a third this year, thanks to all the other measures that we're taking, and I'm sure everybody, both the public and in Parliament, would welcome the 1/3 reduction in illegal immigration. But we need to make sure that this deal sticks, and the bill that's going to be prepared and presented in the near future will make sure that this is legally watertight, and that, I think, is something that everybody will get behind in Parliament. I think it's what the public expect to see as well, because illegal immigration on this scale is completely unacceptable, and the treaty that was signed yesterday and the bill that will follow will end that.
Yes, but that is, at the moment, just your opinion and the opinion of the people that have put this policy together. If it's tested in court, nobody knows which way it would go. If it's not found in favour of the government, then there is this possibility that you might decide to disapply parts of the European Convention on Human Rights. And that's why we're hearing about these 10 ministers on resignation watch. Why do you think they're concerned about it and threatening to quit?
Well, let's wait and see what the bill says. We need to make sure this bill does whatever is necessary to make this arrangement legally effective and immune from challenge by the court. Parliament has been very clear. Parliament has voted clearly in favour of the scheme to return illegal arrivals to Rwanda. We need to make sure that is completely legally watertight and immune from challenge. It's ultimately a question of parliamentary sovereignty. Parliament is ultimately sovereign. It's elected by the people, and this bill that will come forward will do everything necessary to make sure that the will of Parliament does get enacted and doesn't get unpicked.
Chris, I look at this, and after you take away all the controversy about whether people should be sent to Rwanda or not, I always come back to the same question, which is the whole world doesn't seem to want these migrants, but yet Rwanda does. Why does Rwanda want these people? Is this a money only? Is this a business deal for them?
Well, I think that's the question you'd ultimately have to ask Rwanda, but they are willing to play a constructive partnership role, not just with the UK. They actually work also with the UNHCR. The UNHCR themselves already send refugees to Rwanda. So it's not just a deal that Rwanda have done with the UK. Look, I think there is a global problem with large-scale illegal immigration. We've seen it in the United States. I think in September alone, they had about 200,000 people illegally crossing their southern border. We've seen illegal migration into Europe, particularly across the Mediterranean, going up dramatically this year. So this is a problem that's not going away. We do need to take tough action. Other countries like like Austria, Germany and Italy are beginning to consider measures like these as well. As I say, it's good that in the UK we have actually got the illegal immigration numbers down, by a third this year compared to last year, whereas in Europe they're going up. But
really quickly,
we need to go further and stop it completely.
OK, one of the measures to try and tackle legal migration has raised concerns about any Brits that fall in love overseas and then they want their foreign partner to come and live in this country. If they earn less than £38,000, which apparently 3/4 of Brits do, they won't be allowed in. Going to stop people falling in love.
No, well, it's important to make sure that where people who live in the UK want to bring someone, a non-UK citizen in, that there is a salary threshold, and that's the same salary threshold that's applied or being proposed to be applied to skilled workers as well. We've seen the legal migration numbers that were published a week or so ago were far, far too high. We made a manifesto commitment to get migration down, and it's important that we honour that manifesto commitment, and that's what we're doing.
OK, we've got to say goodbye. Thank you. We're out of time. Chris Philp, Policing Minister, appreciate your thoughts this morning. Thank you.